appreciate your attendance and speaking about a very important topic this evening. Before I get started and present some statistics, I just want to give you guys an outline of what we're talking about tonight. Problem is that us Mercerville firemen lack access to adequate fitness equipment and diet and exercise counseling. It's a problem because firefighters have a huge risk of cardiac arrest as well as other injuries. And then I'm going to go into a fitness program that I'd like to implement in the department and present you guys the budget and then show you guys some models of success, and then I'll take some questions and answers. So it's no secret that the job that we do is inherently dangerous. We put ourselves in pretty highly hazardous conditions. And when the alarm sounds, we have no idea what we're responding to. We respond from everything from cleaning up simple highway hazards up to apartment fires. And some of the most basic functions in the fire ground include some seriously heavy lifting, carrying tools, hoses, additional personal protective equipment, and carrying victims for prolonged periods of time. Thank God myself never had to do that, but it is a possibility. We very regularly need to pull facades, drop ceilings, and plaster and lath, which I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with any building construction, but that's very heavy material, and it's kind of hard to break through. And we're constantly facing situations requiring us to exert extreme amounts of physical strength under far from ideal conditions. The most commonly encountered applications of strength and endurance for lifting and carrying objects up to 80 pounds, pulling objects up to 135 pounds, and working with objects in front of your body up to 125 pounds, which is a pretty daunting task to do. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with the fact that despite what the public thinks, most firefighter deaths are caused by cardiac arrest instead of burns, smoke inhalation. It is the biggest cause of firefighter death by a very large margin, about 19%. And as you can see here, I have listed, this is a report from FEMA that reports that 47.2% of the 64 line of duty firefighter deaths last year were actually caused by cardiac arrest. And between the years of 1994 and 2004, this is with the exception of 9/11, 45% of all line of duty deaths were from cardiac arrest. So this isn't a recent trend, this has been going on for many years. And I guess you guys are wondering why we fall victim so easily. Like I mentioned earlier, we do exert a lot of physical strength. When operating in fire, we have to wear a protective ensemble or turnout gear, which adds upwards of 50 pounds to our profile. We obviously are exposed to a lot of emotional stress and some environmental pollutants that all strain the cardiovascular system. We're regularly exposed to smoke, hydrocarbons, carbon monoxide, a lot of bad stuff that we could potentially breathe if we're not using our equipment properly. Okay, so how can proper diet and fitness help change these statistics? There's some very obvious benefits to aerobic exercise. In addition to helping ward off heart disease and cardiac arrest and type 2 diabetes, it can reduce the buildup of bad and actually boost the amount of good cholesterol, which would prevent buildup of plaque in the arteries. Regular aerobic exercise enhances stamina and helps fight off viral infections, which is definitely something you want to promote stamina when you're going to be exerting that much physical strength over a long period of time, especially in such a stressful situation. Alongside the good exercise regimen, adhering to a low sodium, well balanced diet can just augment everything that the exercise itself already addresses, and on top of that, it can drastically prevent and reverse the effects of heart disease as well. And it can help regulate your cholesterol level, maintain body weight, and help develop muscle as well. Why is this a problem in Merchantville? Fortunately for us, we've never had a line of duty death in the town. Line of duty deaths are few and far between. I think this year so far there's only been about 90, and that is a blessing because we're 1 month away from the end of the year. But it still is a big problem because we can become subject to the statistics, and in Merchantville we have access to very subpar exercise equipment. Our exercise facility is currently located in the back of our engine bay, so we are subject to whatever is coming out of the exhaust pipes of the truck, which is not something you want to breathe when you're working out, and we just definitely need to get a better facility for this, which I will address later. We have facilities lined up. Okay, so what can we do to ensure the heart, healthy, and fit lifestyle of the borough firefighters? It starts with providing us with access to additional fitness equipment. We're in dire need of aerobic exercise equipment. The only piece of aerobic exercise equipment we actually have is a stationary bicycle, which is not really the best equipment we could have. If we could acquire 2 treadmills, it would more than meet the needs of the department. We have like 35 active members, and I mean, you rarely see any of them really working out at the same time, especially since a lot of them have full-time jobs, so they kind of work around their schedule. And it would be in the best interest of the borough to invest in a stair mill as well to emulate the physical effects of actually carrying equipment up and down steps, which can be a pretty daunting process as well. More equipment obviously comes the need for more space. Like I mentioned earlier, we want to kind of move away from working out in the back of the firehouse. So we've designated the basement area, which is currently just pretty much houses a bunch of trophies and old equipment. And if we could move that equipment out, and we have more than enough space to put our fitness equipment down there. It maintains a cooler temperature, has comparable lighting, and on top of that, if we knock down 2 or 3 walls, it would be more than enough space. And the problem with that right now is that the rest of the building operates an electric key fob system, and we would need to install that same key fob system in the basement as well, because the only access to it is actually from the outside of the building, and only a few people have keys to that. We move on to our budget here. So for the cost of 2 commercial grade treadmills, it would run us about $3,000. The stair mill brand new costs $2,400, and the addition of an electronic locking system for the basement door is anywhere between $150 and $300. Because everybody in the department already has an electric key system, they could just program it wirelessly to everybody's key. So the total without the fitness and diet counseling would be $5,700. I have been in contact with a local personal trainer and dietitian. He's Sean Glenn of SG Personal Fitness, located in Cherry Hills, and he's offered the fire department a modest price of $300 a session, and that would include personal diet meal plans. He would include personalized workout plans, and he's very professional, well-trained, highly certified, and he's excited to take on the project to better the community. Furthermore, because the Merchantville Fire Department is recognized as a 501c3 organization by the IRS, he could potentially provide a free service to the department, because organizations described under this section are commonly referred to as charitable, and he could donate his services to us for a tax break at the end of the year. So if you would adhere to that, it could potentially be free for the department. We're going to move on to some models of success. This is actually something I've participated in twice, so I have a personal account of how difficult this is and how much it parallels to actually being involved in a live fire scenario. And it's the Candidate Physical Ability Test. It's more widely known as a CPAT test. It was developed by the International Association of Firefighters, and it's an entry-level physical evaluation for most of the career fire departments in the country. It consists of 3 minutes on a stair mill at 60 steps per minute, with 75 pounds of added weight. They throw a weight vest on you, and then they put 25 pounds on your shoulders. Then after that, they remove the 25 pounds off your shoulders, so you still have a 50-pound weight vest on. That's to emulate your personal protective ensemble. And there's a hose drag section, an equipment carry section where you actually just pick up a chainsaw and a reciprocating saw and walk around a few obstacles with it. There's a ladder extension and lowering section where they have this machine that holds a ladder in place and you raise it and lower it. There's a forcible entry section where they have this machine that you swing it a sledgehammer at when you've exerted a certain amount of pounds of pressure on it. With the sledgehammer, it rings a bell and you're able to move on to the next section. There's a search and rescue section where you are put in a reduced profile tunnel and you have to climb through. And then there's the dummy drag, which is my personal favorite section, where you actually have to carry an 160-pound dummy, I believe 50 to 75 feet around a 55-gallon drum and back across the line. And then last but not least, there's a ceiling reaching pole, which has this machine that has weight added to it. You have a pike pole, which is essentially a long spear, and you push it up 3 times and pull it down 5 times. You have to do that for 4 rotations. And you have to be done the entire test in under 10 minutes and 22 seconds. And like I said, it's a very tough test, and it pretty much directly parallels how you feel after you've been involved in a live fire scenario. And pretty much every career department in the country has adopted that as a physical entrance exam, with the exception of a few here and there. And another model of success is, one second here, WeFit. WeFit was developed in Orange County, California. It's similar to the proposed Mercyville Fire Department fitness program, but basically we have dietitians come and do personal meal plans and exercise regimens for their firefighters, but obviously on a much larger scale, countywide as opposed to just for the municipality. And it's been massively successful. 90% have reported that they take advantage of the program, and on top of that, County Chief Mike Boyle of the Orange County Fire Department stated that as a result of WeFit, our crews are more productive and can function longer, fires can be more easily controlled and contained, and the level of firefighter health has improved overall. I'm going to step back 1 page here. This survey is actually a survey that documented how many line of duty deaths were career, volunteer, and then other, which is wildland firefighter, airport fire rescue, stuff like that. And as you can see, volunteers are 53% of that, which is definitely something that can be controlled if they had access to some of the resources that some of the career departments have access to. Thank you for your time and consideration. Are there any questions, comments, concerns?
I have a question. How often will the personal trainer come to the fire department?
Once a month, the last Tuesday of the month. Typically we do, first Tuesday of the month is designated to company meeting. The rest of the other Tuesdays, with the exception of the last Tuesday of the month, are used for drills. So that last Tuesday of the month works out perfectly for those who are available. They can come up and meet with Sean Glenn and get some productive workout tips and tips. Any other questions?
So you're like a volunteer firefighter?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah. Thank you very much. This is a great opportunity for the municipal government to give back to those who selflessly serve this community by investing in our fitness initiative. You're investing in the welfare